My name is Steve. This is Classified Captures. Have you ever seen something on camera that makes you question what you thought you knew about the woods? This footage comes from Bluefield, West Virginia, where a homeowner set up a security camera to keep an eye on the forest behind their house. Everything looked normal until one clip changed the mood completely. A dark figure drifts across the tree line, moving fast and close to the ground with a strange, almost loose crawl. It doesn't fit the usual creatures people whisper about. It's too small to be a dogman, nowhere near the height of a rake, and it doesn't resemble any known animal to roam the area. Instead, its body seems bent in an unnatural way as it darts forward, each movement sharp and unsettling. This video quality is grainy, but there's a faint glow around what appears to be the head, almost like light catching a pair of eyes. Beyond that, nothing is clear enough to explain what this could be. The question is wide open now. What exactly did those cameras capture? Every now and then, something sparks that cracks open the way we think about the world. This time it comes from Taylor, Michigan, where someone captured a night sky moment that's left viewers scratching their heads. In the footage, the witness zooms in on the moon, trying to get a clearer shot, but as the camera steadies, something unexpected comes into view. Right next to the crescent moon sits a second one, smaller but eerily similar in shape. The camera might shake here and there, yet both crescents remain perfectly still. No drifting, no distortion, none of the usual signs of lens glare or camera reflection. That's why so many people insist this wasn't a trick of the light or a digital glitch. If Earth is supposed to have only one moon, then what exactly is that second crescent hanging in the sky?
You know, you can see shit that's reflecting. What in the is this? Reflect, I don't know, dude.
There are parts of America's past that many would rather forget, especially the chapters tied to slavery. Yet the places where those events unfolded still stand, carrying the weight of everything that happened inside their walls. In the paranormal world, spots like these are said to absorb pain, echoing it long after the people are gone. When suffering, death, and cruelty reach extreme levels, believers say the energy doesn't just disappear, it lingers in loops, and the spirits tied to that trauma remain bound to the place where their lives were shattered. One of the most notorious examples is the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana, often called one of the most haunted homes in the entire country. Its history is deeply rooted in slavery, and many of the stories surrounding it point back to a single slave girl whose life was defined by relentless abuse. According to legend, the torment pushed her to breaking point, leading her to kill the family who owned her, and even in death, the story says she never left the grounds. What makes the plantation so famous today is that it's open to the public. Visitors walk in expecting chills, and many leave with more than they bargained for. Over the years, countless tourists have captured strange silhouettes and ghostly figures on their cameras, especially the shapes of children no one remembers seeing during the tour. Take a look at these images. Small bodies, faint outlines, child-sized shadows standing quietly in corners or lingering behind groups. No special effects, no actors, just real visitors taking photographs and finding something staring back at them. Imagine waking up one day and finally being able to see the world again after years of blurry shapes and fading light. That's the promise behind a new tech breakthrough designed for people who are legally blind. It's called the Vega smart glasses, and they're being described as AI-powered vision enhancers that can give sight back in a way many believe was impossible. The system uses two parts. The first is the glasses themselves. The second is a pair of special contact lenses. The lenses look and feel like normal contacts, nothing unusual, but the moment you put on the Vega glasses, everything changes. The glasses activate the lenses, magnifying whatever is in front of you and sharpening the image until someone with severe vision loss can finally see clearly. For millions of people living with eyesight problems, especially those who cannot afford laser surgery or long-term treatments, this advancement is a major step forward. Picture going from barely recognizing shapes to suddenly reading signs, seeing faces, and moving through the world with confidence again. It's starting to feel like sightings of UAPs are becoming a normal part of life. Many people still believe every clip is fake, but others are convinced that hidden somewhere among all these videos, a few might actually show something real. A recent example comes from a man who was hiking in Washington. He noticed something strange moving across the sky and decided to record it. This is what he caught on camera. You can clearly see an object drifting overhead. It has a clean, well-defined shape people often mention when describing UFO encounters. The sky is dark enough that only the outline is visible, yet the shape stays solid. Even when he zooms in, it looks the same. Later, he shared an update that shows what appears to be two more UFOs hovering in the distance. They remain in one spot, almost as if they're suspended in the air. Of course, there are some people who dismiss the whole thing as a hoax. They say it could be computer graphics, a drone, or simply video manipulation. But there are many who believe that out of the thousands of sightings posted every year, at least a handful could be genuine. And if that is true, this clip might be one of the rare moments worth paying attention to. What do you make of it? Back in 1996, something happened in Varginha, Brazil that people are still struggling to explain. Some call it one of the most significant UFO encounters in modern history. Others insist it was nothing more than confusion and panic. No matter what side you believe, the story refuses to fade. It started when locals reported that a strange craft had gone down near the city. Witnesses said they saw smoke rising from a field and heard a heavy impact. Not long after that, several residents claimed they saw unusual beings moving around the area. Two girls were among the most talked about witnesses. They said they came face to face with one of the creatures. Their description was unsettling: a thin body and 3 raised bumps on the head that looked anything but human. There is an alleged video from that day that many people have studied. In the footage, a figure is crouched down on the ground, shifting its head from side to side. Just as the person filming tries to get closer, a military officer steps into frame and blocks the camera, cutting off the view. The official explanation insists nothing happened and that every report was an exaggerated rumor. But locals tell a different version. They say the military arrived almost immediately, secured the area, and removed something from the crash site. Some even believe the creature itself was handed over to the United States soon after. To this day, the Varginha incident leaves people divided. Many dismissed it as a staged event. Others looked at the testimonies, the manner of the military response, and the mysterious footage, and are convinced that something truly strange took place. After hearing the details of the alleged video, well, where do you stand on it? A haunting piece of footage recently surfaced from a Thai temple, and it stirred up more questions than answers. Temples are known for their quiet, sacred atmosphere, and it's extremely rare to see children wandering through the halls, especially late at night. That is why the residents and security team were stunned when they reviewed the CCTV recording. In the clip, a small childlike figure appears inside the temple corridors. The child walks calmly out of an inner room, moves down the stairs, and then begins running across the courtyard. You can even hear the sound of light footsteps hitting the ground as it moves. But the detail that unsettles most viewers is the glow surrounding the child. It's not coming from any light source in the scene, and nothing else in the frame reflects light in that way. Locals quickly shared their own ideas. Some believe the figure is not a physical child at all, but a spirit tied to the temple grounds. Others say it could be a wandering ghost child, which is a familiar presence in Thai spiritual folklore, especially in sacred locations where energy is believed to gather. The security team confirmed that no children were present on the grounds that night. Nearby families did not report a missing child, and according to the temple staff, no one has ever seen a child walk there after dark. With all of that in mind, the question becomes unavoidable. What exactly did those cameras witness moving through the temple that night? A few months ago, when the tragic fires hit Los Angeles, the entire country felt the shock. As with every major event, conversations and theories started spreading almost immediately. Some of them were easy to brush off, but others made people pause for a moment. A new theory has recently started gaining attention. Someone had been watching a live aerial feed that showed a clear view over their city while the fires were burning. But viewers suddenly noticed something unexpected in the sky. There were objects moving above the flames that didn't look like planes, helicopters, or anything that matched the usual aircraft used during emergencies. Their shapes were unfamiliar and they didn't resemble any non-response vehicles. That's when the speculation began. Some people claimed the objects were alien craft, silently observing the chaos or even playing a part in causing it. Others suggested a planned operation using advanced technology that the public has never been told about. With all these theories circulating, the question becomes unavoidable. What do you think these objects really were? A fisherman was out on one of his usual ocean trips when he experienced something he still can't explain. At some point, he took his camera and dipped it beneath the surface, probably just to capture the water or whatever marine life was around, but the moment the lens went underwater, something strange happened. Out of nowhere, a white face suddenly appeared directly in front of the camera. It wasn't a fish swimming by, it looked like a face popping right into the frame for a split second. The fisherman immediately yanked the camera back up, shocked by what he'd just seen. After a moment, he lowered the camera into the water again to check if whatever that was there was still visible, but this time nothing appeared. The water was completely empty. The whole encounter lasted only a few seconds, and because of how fast it happened, no one truly knows what the fisherman captured. Some think it could have been a marine creature we don't commonly see, others think it might have been something else entirely. So what exactly did this fisherman film in the deep? A passenger on a commercial flight shared a video that has sparked a lot of conversation. While looking out of the window, they noticed something unusual streak past the plane. If you watch closely, you can see an object shoot into the frame, and just before it gets near the aircraft, it performs a full somersault in the air, then takes off at a speed that looks far beyond anything commercial or man-made. There are no visible wings, no blinking lights, and no structure you would normally expect from a craft. What really unsettles people is how controlled the movement appears. Debris or balloons tend to tumble and drift. This object flips once with precision and then fires away as if it has its own propulsion system. Some viewers believe this might be clear evidence of a genuine unidentified flying object. Others suggest a drone, and a few say it could be a reflection, although the movement does not match any reflection we usually see. With everything shown in the clip, the question becomes simple. What exactly flew past that plane? Ever since the entire 3i Atlas situation, people have been watching the NASA livestream with far more intensity. Every flicker of light, every drifting object, every tiny movement in the frame is now put under the microscope. But for all the attention, NASA and most viewers usually dismiss these visuals as space debris, ice particles, or simple reflections from the lens. But on November the 22nd, one viewer noticed something that didn't match any of the usual explanations. While watching the live feed, she spotted an object moving slowly across the screen. This one didn't look like debris at all. It had a clear triangular pattern of lights. People immediately pointed out that the triangular-shaped UFOs have been reported many times in modern UAP sightings. This alone was enough to ignite discussion. Some viewers believe the object could be an unidentified craft, others insist it might be debris drifting in a way that only appears organized. Even so, the timing of the sighting and the unusual shape of the lights have left many people wondering, what do you think NASA's live stream truly captured that day? It's hard to tell if people are losing faith in law enforcement or if something else is happening, but a recent encounter has gone viral. A woman made headlines for how she handled being stopped by the police. Instead of following the usual instructions to roll down her window, she did the opposite. She closed every window and held a printed sheet against the glass. On it, she told the officers she would not open her window, that she was not required to, and that she would not hand over her ID or license. Instead, she attached her ID to the window and requested to speak with a lawyer. This stands out because most of us are so used to the standard routine: roll down the windows, hand over the license, answer questions, and comply. But she took a completely different approach. She stayed silent, refused a search of a car, demanded a lawyer, and cited her rights according to the Constitution. She even instructed the officers to leave any tickets they had on the windshield. It's fascinating to see someone challenging expectations so deliberately and assert their rights so clearly. The question now is simple. Could anyone else do the same if they were stopped by the police? The image you are looking at shows the same woman at two very different points in her life. On one side, she's a beautiful woman in her prime. On the other hand, she appears older with a face that looks swollen, stretched, and almost unrecognizable. This was not the result of aging. Her story is far more tragic. Lin May was once considered one of the most iconic entertainers in her country. She was celebrated for her beauty, her grace, and the attention she drew wherever she went. In a world where appearance meant everything, the pressure to remain young was constant. What happened to her was not the result of routine cosmetic procedures. According to her own accounts, someone injected her face with oil instead of the proper cosmetic fillers. She explained that the injections were done without her fully understanding what was being used. Over time, the oil reacted with her skin, causing swelling, deformities, and permanent changes to her appearance. What was supposed to be a simple beauty enhancement turned into a long-term struggle with irreversible consequences. Two girls shared a video online that came with a haunting story. They'd gone out for a night in town. On the way back, they decided to stop their car and do some stargazing. The street was empty, quiet, and perfect for lying down in the middle of the road, staring at the sky, taking pictures, and enjoying the calm. But as they joked around, something caught their attention. At the far end of the street near the crosswalk, a figure stood in the dark, a very tall figure. It didn't move toward them, it simply stood there, its face turned away, watching from the shadows. When they posted the video, people were immediately unsettled. In the clip, the figure is clearly visible, and the way it stands almost unnaturally gives the scene a chilling atmosphere. However, some internet sleuths claim the entire thing was staged. According to them, nobody else was out there. They suggested the figure was one of the girl's boyfriends who'd gone along that night, standing in the dark to create an eerie effect. The girls never confirmed or denied the claim. The question remains, what did they really capture that night?
They were like waiting for us. Wait, they're gone. Oh wait. No, they're still there.
Way down,
They're just looking back and forth. Is that a person? It's a person. I think we're scaring. No, that's a person.
it will see once more just to dream.
The internet never fails to surprise us, and every day a new strange clip seems to circulate. This time someone claims they discovered a person inside what looks like an old tube-shaped container. The individual appears extremely pale, almost lifeless, and the container looks abandoned, covered in dirt as if it had not been touched for decades. According to the brief context shared with the video, the claim is that the person has been trapped inside since the 1700s. The clip itself is short and provides no background. It doesn't show how or where the container was found, who filmed it, and how the person supposedly ended up inside. Because of the lack of information, people online are left to speculate. Some suggest it could be an old medical preservation chamber that was never documented. Others think it might be a proper staged recording. This is not enough evidence to draw any firm conclusions, but the appearance of the container, the condition of the person, and the eerie atmosphere of the video leave a lot of questions unanswered. What exactly are we seeing in the clip? This video, dated November the 19th, 2024, shows a person walking through what appears to be a cave-like swamp, but no context is given. All that's visible is muddy, murky water beneath their feet, and above is a completely enclosed structure. The walls do not look like concrete, rock, or any other man-made material. They have an uneven organic texture that's hard to place. Is this an undiscovered cave system, or could it be something far stranger? The walls are too smooth in some areas, too jagged in others, and they show a pattern that almost resembles skin or tissue. Because the person filming seems entirely enclosed, some have speculated that this could be the inside of a giant creature, as if someone had been swallowed whole by something massive in the water. Of course, there's no evidence to support that theory. All we have is this one baffling video of someone wading through what looks like a living tunnel. What do you think this place could really be? If someone was in the body of an animal, a marine animal in the sea, how did they get phone signal, and how were they able to upload the clip in the first place if they even survived? I don't think that's what it is, personally. All around the world, mountain formations appear that do not always look like random natural shapes. Some seem to resemble faces, bodies, and the silhouettes of giant humans. This has fueled a theory that resurfaces every few years, the petrification theory. Mainstream scientists reject the idea. They say these formations are the result of erosion, sediment buildup, and natural weathering over long periods of time. But outside the scientific community, many believe there is more to these mountains than geology alone. According to the petrification theory, some of these structures might not be mountains at all. Some think they could be the remains of giants, somehow turned to stone over time by natural forces. When you look at certain formations, it's easy to see why people draw that conclusion. Take this mountain, for example. It shows the clear outline of a human face, complete with a brow ridge, a nose, and a mouth, all positioned exactly as they would be on a living person. The precision is striking enough to make anyone wonder if this is really just the work of erosion. By now, most people have heard the idea that animals sense things humans cannot, especially dogs and cats, and this next clip feels like a perfect example of that. A woman was walking her dog through a cemetery when the dog suddenly began acting uneasy. It focused on one particular grave and would not look away. So she walked closer to see what was upsetting it. The grave looked completely normal at first, flowers on top, and on both sides there were two small fans, one blue and one pink. And then she noticed something strange. Blue fan was spinning, the flowers were still, the leaves were still, and even the pink fan was not moving at all. Only the blue fan turned as if something was touching it. She recorded the moment because she couldn't explain it. She didn't know the person buried there, and a dog had never reacted this way before. It's as if the dog said something she couldn't see. And this is not the only story like that. One viewer once shared that the dog barks toward the forest behind their house every night, always at the exact spot where the previous dog is buried. It goes on for about 20 or 30 minutes, almost as if the living dog is answering something in the dark. Whatever the truth is, animals clearly pick up on things that we don't see. Maybe it's an energy, spirits, or something we've not figured out yet. But moments like these make it hard to ignore the possibility that animals see far more than we do. A father recently shared a story about his 3-year-old daughter that is both unsettling and powerful no matter what you believe. His little girl wandered into the backyard and fell into the pool. She was underwater for more than 2 minutes. The home security camera captured everything. By the time her mother reached her, the child's face was blue, her eyes were open, her mouth frozen, and she appeared lifeless. The mother screamed for her husband. He rushed outside the moment she lifted their daughter up from the water. Before they could even start CPR, the little girl gasped and began crying just like that. The parents were stunned. She'd been underwater too long, showing all the signs of drowning, yet she came back the instant they touched her. What makes the story even more chilling happened afterward. The father said that since that night, his daughter kept repeating a single name, Yeshua. When her mother asked who Yeshua was, the little girl simply said, "My friend." She is only 3 years old. She should not know that name. In Christianity, Yeshua is the original Hebrew name for Jesus. For many believers, this feels like a direct sign. For others, it's a mystery with no clear explanation. Regardless of your beliefs, the idea of a child pulled back from death who immediately names a figure associated with life and salvation is impossible to ignore.
Yeshua. Yeshua.
Stop.
Yeshua.
What are you saying?
Yeshua.
Yeshua?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Next, we have footage that looks like what you'd expect from hell. In the Trailcam footage, which is sped up, we see the forest all suddenly catch fire. The fire does not, however, look like your everyday fire. Instead, it looks purplish and bluish. You don't have to be a pyrotechnics expert to know that such fires are hotter than your everyday fire. Many enthusiasts of the paranormal, including us, initially suspected a supernatural cause due to the unusual nature of the fire's origin. It turns out, however, that there was a forest fire in the area and it spread to that location. But that's not exactly how fires spread now, is it? Either share your thoughts with us in the comments section. We'd love to hear them. Next, we have footage that's apparently the result of a disturbance in the neighborhood. Residents of the neighborhood were unsettled by the continuous screams of an unidentified man, leaving them perplexed and concerned. If you have heard anyone scream, you know how uncomfortable that can be, which is no surprise that having the man screaming for hours made them call in the sheriff. The footage you are seeing now is apparently from his body cam. Strangely enough, as soon as the sheriff reaches the scene, an eerie silence descends upon the area. Being the police officer that he is, he searches the vicinity for anything out of the ordinary as he makes his way down the road. Using his flashlight, he initially finds nothing until he catches sight of a pale and ghostly figure with unnaturally elongated arms. This creature, or whatever it is, was initially sitting, but once exposed to the sheriff's light, it runs away and disappears from sight. Fortunately, though, the sheriff's body cam records the whole thing. Upon reviewing the footage, it becomes apparent that the entity captured is humanoid and likely a cryptid. Analyzing its skin and behavior, paranormal experts have posited that it could potentially be a creature known as the Rake. Looking at the evidence in the footage, you can't blame them, but is the video truly real? A part of me thinks otherwise, but what do you think?
Do you believe demons exist? No? Then how do you explain this? The screams you hear are from the devices of an explorer that crashed into a water body. He'd gone out to explore the great outdoors and document the adventures when he suddenly lost control of his drone and it crashed into the waters. Try as he may, he couldn't get it out and gave up. Upon returning home, he checked the last recorded footage on the cloud, and surely enough, it was the last moments of his devices. He doesn't believe what he heard were the sounds of his devices. No, they sounded hellish and demonic to him. He then uploaded it online, and some sided with him, saying that they'd experienced the same thing before. The majority, however, told him the sounds, although sounding like screams, are definitely coming from his drone being in the water. When you think about it, that sounds very logical, but maybe, just maybe, that's what the demons want us to think. What are your thoughts, though? For some time now, a ranch owner has been hearing strange noises on his property, which left him feeling unsettled. As a result, he decided to investigate and set up a camera to capture any activity that might be causing the noises. He initially thought it could be coyotes, but what he found on reviewing the footage was quite unexpected. To his surprise, the footage showed a strange-looking creature that seemed emaciated, with a very thin neck. The creature was peering inside the room through the window, and its appearance was quite unsettling. Naturally, he was perplexed and posted the footage on our paranormal platform. Some thought it had to be aliens, while many thought it was nothing more than an attempt for 5 or 10 minutes of fame. Critically look at the clip again and share what you think.
Next, we have something that looks like the stuff of horror movies. Don't believe me? Watch the footage. Did you see it? Was that a deer with fangs? No, take a look again. Yup, that's definitely a deer with fangs. Do vampires turn into wild animals too? If they do, I won't be surprised if Count Dracula or one of his inner circles was responsible. I mean, do these creatures go around drinking the blood of other animals, or do they have a taste for human blood? As much as I would love to speculate and fantasize about this all day long, sadly, these creatures are all but ordinary animals. But here's the irony. This particular deer species is known as the Chinese water deer, not a blood-sucking one. Despite their intimidating appearance, these creatures are actually herbivores and practically just deer. They're found in China and Korea, where they are protected. So tell me, if you met this creature in the wild, would you be tempted to pet it, or would you just mind your business and stay far away? Tell us in the comment section. Still on ghosts, take a look at this image that was sent in by a follower of this channel. She claims that this was captured on a trail cam she had set up in a remote area in the woods. She regularly checked the trail cam, which captured footage of the local wildlife in the area. To her surprise, however, her most recent capture had the image you see on your screen. And yes, that's a humanoid staring at the trail cam. Interestingly, while the rest of the image is sharp, the body of the humanoid appears blurry.
This made her believe she was looking at a ghost or cryptid of some kind. After reviewing our records of paranormal beings and events, it's hard for us to accept that this is truly paranormal. Personally, a part of me believes that this is fabricated, but perhaps that's just me being skeptical. What do you think about it?
Usually when you hear of haunted houses, it's of people moving into a house that's already haunted or perhaps an incident that could have caused the haunting. But I stumbled upon this strange footage.
This is a video my friend sent me.
Move the crisp. Whoa! Whoa!
You'll have seen me tag him. His name's King Smithy.
This man, however, has been living in his apartment for 10 years with no issues whatsoever till now. Without intending to, he captured this eerie experience on camera.
Pushing it, it like indents the packet. No, that's just freaky, man.
Hello?
He was in the living room going about his normal day when he noticed a pack of chips moving on its own on the ground. There was no one else in the house with him at the moment, and there was no windy situation either, so how is this bag of chips moving on the floor? It's like an unknown force, but how is this possible? A commenter was rather skeptical and believed that this was just an orchestrated hoax. Others believe this is a ghost, others also say it's a demon. A particular commenter said this: could be an entity that just shows up because someone in the area opened a portal. What do you think? Is there some credibility to this story, or is it nothing more than an attempt for his 5 minutes of fame?
This is a video my friend sent me.
Move the crisp. Whoa! Whoa!
You'll have seen me tag him. His name's King Smithy.
Now, look at that. A huge serpent at the mouth of a woodland. It's grey with a pink fin-like thing on its head. Quite the intimidating sight, wouldn't you agree? But when you take a closer look, this creature has got that oddly whimsical look to it, almost like it's been plucked straight out of a cartoon. Quite unreal, don't you think? This has led many to conclude the whole thing is fake, and the audio in the background is just there to create the impression that it's real. I'm not buying it though, but maybe that's just me. What do you think? Still on the supernatural, watch this next footage.
Starting to regret that I stopped at this rest stop. And they say big.
Did you hear that? Do you hear those vocalizations? I mean, let's be honest, those vocalizations don't sound like any predator we're familiar with, right? It sounds nothing like a wolf, bear, or even mountain lion. What then could it be? No one truly knows. The recorder of the footage, however, can be heard in the background, stating he can't believe people refuse to believe in Bigfoot after all this. The reason for his statement is simple. Beyond the general consensus among many logical minds that Bigfoot does not exist, many individuals who live near the woods the video was recorded in state that they don't believe in the cryptid despite the numerous sightings of the creature. The strange vocalizations might also have been going on for a long time, and no one has ever been able to get to the bottom of it. So what do you think? Do you believe that we're dealing with a Bigfoot, or do you think there's a more logical explanation to the whole thing? Tell us in the comments section. Would the government cover up the existence of cryptids? Well, this next Trailcam footage seems to suggest so. The footage reveals a dog-like creature sprinting through the woods, captured on what appears to be a body cam attached to an individual in pursuit. The story behind this footage is that it was recorded on a government operation to find and suppress a dog-man creature in an undisclosed location. However, after unknown individuals or hackers leaked the footage to the public, they seemingly vanished without a trace. The footage looks weird because it's stabilized footage from a clip that's less than 5 seconds long. You are literally watching it frame by frame. It's hard to ignore how awkward and wacky it looks.
Do you think this is the real deal, or is this a well-planned and clever hoax? Tell us in the comments section. An intriguing event was captured on camera by an unknown person. From the footage, we see a strange light suddenly appear in the clouds, and just as quickly as it appeared, it disappears. Upon closer inspection, the light seemed to be emanating from a craft of some kind, which was not visible to the naked eye. The light appeared to be hovering in the sky and then vanished in the blink of an eye, leaving many to wonder if it could be a case of a cloaked UFO. The incident has sparked a great deal of discussion and debate among those who believe in extraterrestrial life and UFO sightings. What's your take on the clip? During a horseback ride in the woods, a group of men came across a mysterious creature. The creature was small in size, but it had dark fur and a long, furry tail. As they approached, the creature hid behind a leafy plant, making it difficult to see its features. Suddenly, without warning, the creature leapt out from behind the plant and attacked one of the men on the horses. Observers speculated that it could be an anteater, given its long snout. However, we couldn't be sure, as the creature's appearance was unlike anything they had seen before. What say you guys? Speaking of supernatural, this next footage is one for the books. At first glance, the footage you were seeing on your screen looks just like any other trail cam footage. A couple of deer grazing and carefully looking around to make sure they're safe. When the owner of the trail cam reviewed it, he saw the same. After a closer inspection of the video, however, it came to light that there were more characters in the footage than initially thought. Watch the footage again and pay attention. Do you see the face there in the brightened image? At some point in the footage, you see the deer look in that same direction as though they knew the creature was there. Could it be that the Bigfoot noticed the camera and refused to come out and get noticed? Let us know what you think. Next, imagine you are on a romantic date with your spouse in the woods when an unknown creature which doubles as a giant suddenly moves in the bushes ahead of you. How would you respond? Now stop imagining and watch the video. Did you see it? You saw the giant move in the bushes, didn't you? This footage was recorded by a couple whose romantic night out was suddenly interrupted by a disturbance in the bushes, only for them to see what you saw on screen. Now, let's examine the creature's appearance. It's covered in hair, walks upright like a human, and possesses a body reminiscent of an ape. What creature comes to mind from this description? Yes, you're right, a Bigfoot. No one likes a third wheel whilst on a romantic date, but no one expects that third wheel to be a ginormous creature. Everyone seems to believe that the giant was Bigfoot. What do you think? Would you release a dinosaur into the wild if you had one? Well, my answer will most likely be no, but this dude is no ordinary person. We don't know how, but he appears to be in possession of a pet dinosaur. If you were to ask me the oddest thing a person could keep as a pet, a dinosaur would be the last thing on my mind. Not because it's not odd, but, well, because it's the last thing you would expect anyone to keep. Also, they're extinct, which makes this piece of footage even more surprising. How do you think he got himself a dinosaur? Do you sometimes feel that the universe we live in is not real? Does it sometimes feel like we're all living in a computer simulation like the Matrix? If you've experienced these feelings and thoughts, you aren't the only one. Thousands have felt this way, and our next clip is one of the reasons people believe it. The footage shows what appears to be a tree floating from the forest towards a town. Initially, people thought it was an edited video, but upon closer examination, the shadow of the tree on the ground indicates that it was a real occurrence. This raises the question of how a tree can float like that. Was it a mistake, or was it something supernatural like a possessed tree? There is still a lot of speculation about what could have caused this phenomenon. Some people suggest it might have been caused by a strong wind or a freak accident, while others propose that it could be a supernatural occurrence. Whatever the case may be, this incident has left many people scratching their heads, wondering if there is more to our world than meets the eye. Next is footage I would want you to see before I pass any comments. Watch the clip. Did you notice anything out of place? Have a look again. Did you catch it? Well, in case you missed it, a few seconds into the clip, there's something peculiar moving in the shadows just beyond the reach of the headlights. It's almost as though it's moving quickly so that it's not seen by those in the vehicle. Although it manages to get away, the dashboard cam of the vehicle records it. Upon closer examination of the footage, it becomes evident that the creature is covered in fur and exhibits an uncanny ability to walk upright. Apes can do that, but the footage was recorded in a region where there are no apes. This can only mean one thing: we are dealing with a cryptid. There's only one that fits the bill: Bigfoot. The uploaders were convinced they were dealing with a Bigfoot, and we are as well, but what do you think? Tell us in the comments section. Speaking of rare occurrences, take a look at this image. In it, we see a buck carrying a pig pierced on its antlers in the midst of a wide field. Upon closer inspection, you'll notice that the object impaled on its antlers resembles a pig, adding to the mystery. Take a closer look and you'll be astonished to see that it indeed resembles a pig. A buck and a pig? How? I mean, why? Could it have been provoked, or is it something it does for sport? Is it even possible? Is there a logical explanation for it? Sure, a buck could cause serious damage to a pig with its antlers, but how to raise the whole pig? I doubt that's even possible, or could there be something we're missing here? Tell us what you think in the comments section. This heartwarming incident captured on camera shows that animals can display compassion towards each other. It's all started when a poor cat fell into a body of water and was struggling to keep its head above. Fortunately, a dog noticed the cat's plight and quickly jumped into the water without any hesitation. The dog then swam toward the cat and allowed it to clamber onto its back. The cat, now standing on the dog's back, was able to climb out of the water safely. The dog's selfless act of kindness towards the helpless cat shows that animals can be incredibly compassionate towards each other. While many found this heartwarming, a number of them were upset and wondered why the person filming did nothing. I can't fault them for thinking so, but it doesn't take away the fact that this was rather heartwarming anyway. In recent times, there have been numerous reports of creatures that have been found and suspected of being alien or extraterrestrial origin. While some humans dream of meeting aliens, one guy's out there actually transforming himself to look like aliens, and one such individual is currently undergoing a project to transform himself into an alien. He's aptly named his endeavor the Black Alien Project and has undergone multiple surgeries to modify his body to resemble that of an extraterrestrial being. As part of his transformation, the man has tattooed nearly 90% of his body with black ink and has also altered his lips to give them an inhuman appearance. His upper lip, in particular, bears a striking resemblance to that of an alien. Looking at the progress he's made so far, it can be said that his project is looking quite promising. So while he may not hail from the stars above, he's certainly making waves down here on Earth with his unique project. What are your thoughts on his transformation? Next, we have another potential scream of a skinwalker which was recorded on a home security system. Listen to it. Did you hear it? What could be happening in the woods? Was that really a skinwalker? If the scream is that loud, does that mean the creature lives nearby? Is the creature trying to lure the homeowners out? So many questions, yet little to no answers. What do you think? Still on the supernatural, watch this footage. Did you see that? Do you see the being that fell into the water? Well, what do you think it is? The person who uploaded the footage captured by their Trailcam believed that what fell into the water was a ghost. However, after the video was uploaded, the paranormal community speculated that it was not a ghost per se, but rather a young lady who had become possessed by one. Personally, I think she might be possessed too. A critical analysis of the footage reveals the presence of either one possessed person near the water or a life-size doll potentially serving as the source of the possession. Although we may not be able to fully tell what we're dealing with, we know that whatever it is, it's a spirit or a ghost of sorts. What do you think? A peculiar craft was recently spotted in the sky, hovering among the clouds. The object is disc-shaped and has several rotating circles around its perimeter. As it moves across the sky, the circles keep rotating at a steady pace, giving the impression of a machine in motion. Witnesses describe the object as completely silent and moving with great agility, unlike any aircraft they've ever seen. Some have speculated that it might be a new kind of unidentified flying object, while others believe it could be a secretive military aircraft. The take of my team is that this has to be a hoax. I don't agree with them, though. Until we can prove beyond reasonable doubt that it's false, I don't think we should call it that. What do you think? As we all know, gravity is one of the fundamental forces of nature that plays a crucial role in our daily lives on Earth. It's the force that holds everything together and keeps us grounded. However, I recently stumbled upon some intriguing footage that has left me feeling confused. In the clip, a hand is seen grabbing a strange piece of stick that's shaped like a spiral. The stick is then placed under running water, and to everyone's surprise, it begins to spin as it moved upward while still under the running water. While I'm no science whiz, I doubt this follows the law of physics. Unfortunately, our resident scientist is out of the studio investigating a phenomena we intended to show in our next clip, so he can't be of help. Can any of you help? Is this some kind of optical illusion or trick of the camera? Or is there really a scientific explanation for the phenomenon? Please share your thoughts. Next, we have footage of a scout examining an isolated area deep in the night. The scout is suddenly startled by unfamiliar and eerie noises during his usual routine. Instead of running off, he decides to take the chance and look into this mystery. He takes along his camera, hoping to capture something spectacular. With his flashlight illuminating the darkness, he cautiously directs his attention toward the source of the unsettling sounds, and to his surprise, a creature, white in color and with a form unseen anywhere before, is moving through the bushes and trees ahead. You think that would be a cue for him to make a tactical retreat, but no, he keeps directing his light source to the same area. Realizing it's been exposed, the creature frantically seeks new hiding spots amidst the bushes and trees. While the creature ultimately evades capture, the ranger does manage to record a glimpse of it on camera, as seen in the footage before you. Although blurred, the creature bears a strong correspondence to the infamous rake. Could this be a rare sighting of the creature, or is this whole thing a hoax? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Have you ever heard a skinwalker scream? Well, we have, and it's a nerve-wracking experience. We were too terrified to even think of recording it at the time. However, we've managed to obtain footage from Gila National Park where multiple skinwalkers were heard unleashing bone-chilling screams. Have a listen. Did you hear them? Does that sound like any creature you know? And there's something else. I can't tell if you noticed, but you can't hear birds chirping or any other animals. Remember, if you find yourself in the woods and an eerie silence envelops the surroundings, there's only one explanation: a lurking danger. And in this case, we strongly believe it's the presence of a skinwalker. Beyond that, the voices sound very far, right? That's a good thing. Well, no, skinwalkers like to make themselves sound very far away, even when they're very close. This is usually to trick you into running into them so that they have their way with you. When you think about that and realize there are multiple voices that sound very far, you know that the one who recorded this footage was lucky to make it out there alive. I mean, I'm having the chills just thinking about it.
The deep sea is one of the most unexplored and mysterious places on Earth. Recently, a deep-sea camera captured footage of a black, gooey creature at a depth of 6,000 feet. The footage has left scientists and oceanographers puzzled as they're unable to identify the creature and properly understand its characteristics. The creature appears to be a black, gooey blob with no discernible features or appendages. Some speculate that it could be a type of deep-sea jellyfish or a new species altogether. However, without more information, it's difficult to draw any conclusions. One of the main concerns about this creature is whether it poses any danger to humans or other sea creatures, since there is not much information on it. Have you seen anything like this? Care to share your experience? Have you ever been in a situation where you feel like someone or something is watching you? It's a very unsettling feeling that can leave you feeling uneasy and uncomfortable. Now, imagine looking through a broken wall and finding a pair of eyes staring directly at you. The sense of unease and discomfort would be amplified even further. Someone found this eye looking back at them through a wall. It's difficult to determine what kind of creature could be behind this eye. Is it a normal animal or a cryptid that is yet to be discovered? Share your thoughts in the comments section.
Think that was odd? Take a look at this deer from upstate New York. Can you see it? Do you notice how odd it looks? It almost looks like a character model from a cartoon or something. There's just one problem: that's not how deer look in the wild. They don't have forward-facing eyes, nor do they have expressions like that. I mean, it looks like a beautiful photorealistic AI-generated image, but it's not. All who saw the image could tell there was something wrong, but couldn't quite put a finger to it. The paranormal community, on the other hand, believes they know what it is: a paranormal being. And there's only one that fits the bill: a skinwalker. Skinwalkers are able to mimic the appearance of animals et al., but there are always flaws because they're not naturally animals. I believe this creature we see might be a bad attempt to imitate a deer, but what do you also think? Next is this footage that's a bit of a controversial one. In the clip, we can see a car suddenly take a turn off the main road into an off-road path. As the car progresses through the path, we see two beings clothed in white. Despite the car approaching, the beings remain in the path, unmoving and seemingly aware of the vehicle's presence. The car comes to a sudden stop, mere feet away from the beings, who still stubbornly refuse to move out of the way. As the driver is contemplating what to do, they suddenly turn around and look at them in an eerie and scary fashion. You don't need to be a psychic to know they bolted out of there. But we can't help but wonder, is this really real? The individuals on the path look more like people in costumes than they do spirits, but what do I know? Perhaps you could share your thoughts. What do you think? While on a plane, someone filmed the sun setting. Take a good look at it and you'll realize it's not at all very normal. To start with, the sun was pink, which is a sight to behold. It's quite common for the sun to appear pink or even red during a sunset. This happens because the Earth's atmosphere acts as a filter, scattering the blue and green wavelengths of light and allowing the longer wavelengths like red and pink to pass through more easily. The colors you see during sunset can vary depending on the location, weather, and time of year. For example, if there are a lot of pollutants or dust particles in the air, the sun may appear more orange or even brown. And during the winter months, the sun can appear more pink or purple as the angle of the Earth's tilt changes and affects the way the sun's light passes through the atmosphere. While the color is an interesting one, you must agree that the sun sets in a rather unconventional way. It's almost as though it's disappearing into the Earth. What do you guys make of that? Take a look at this video and share your thoughts on what you see. The footage shows an intriguing sight that has sparked a lot of debate. At first glance, it appears to be something wriggling on the surface of the water, but upon closer examination, it becomes clear that this mysterious object has wings that are flapping as it hovers just above the water before taking off to perch on a nearby tree. The object in question is white and long, and it's unclear what it could be. Some people believe it's a small bird that's gotten tangled up in plastic, while others suggest it might be a rubber worm. However, the fact that it can fly seems to rule out the latter option. Another theory is that the object is a bird that has just captured something from the water. It's fascinating to see how people are interpreting this video in different ways. What are your thoughts on what this object could be? We have this possessed goat. Confused? Watch the video. In the video, we observe a goat behind a fence climbing over it and emitting sounds that are uncommon for a goat. This begs the question, is it really possessed or is this simply a goofy and friendly goat? Share your opinions because we'd love to read them. Have you ever wondered how big or small a dog will look next to a wolf? Well, wonder no more, for we received special footage answering exactly that. A man was exploring the woods with his dog when it started barking hysterically after running off a few meters from him. Not only was it hysterical, but it also started running as though it were being chased by something. The owner, perplexed by his dog's extreme fear, couldn't understand what could scare such a large and experienced woodland companion. It was used to the woods and was much larger than your average dog. After a few seconds, however, he didn't have to wonder anymore. As his dog dashed out of the woods, the owner's gaze followed, revealing a formidable sight. A large black timber wolf in hot pursuit. Although his dog is a wolf dog, you can see how small it is next to an actual wolf. One might expect the dog to retreat after the initial encounter, but to the owner's surprise, it courageously returns to chase after the wolf. The owner realizes his dog might just die and goes after it, ending the video. If this video is proof of anything, it's that things don't have to be supernatural to be scary. A group of cave explorers came across this eerie scene in a cave. In the middle of the cave, there's a pile of human skeletons stacked like pillars. The old bones tell a sad story of something bad that happened long ago. But that's not all. As the explorers keep going, they find another room full of bones, skulls, leg bones, ribs, all mixed together like a scary puzzle of death. What happened in this lonely place to leave behind such a scary scene? Was it once a graveyard where people buried their loved ones? Or maybe something worse hides in the darkness, waiting for someone brave enough to find out? Next, we've got a rather unusual discovery. Take a look. Someone posted this clip on the internet showcasing a crash site that was being closely guarded by men in uniforms. A second look, and you'd realize that the object they seem to be guarding is in no way terrestrial. In other words, it doesn't look like it belongs on our planet. But how is this possible? Did the government run into a UFO and decide to transport it? Then again, if it's the government, it would be done in secrecy, so no one sees it. Unless, of course, they want us to know there are aliens and they've got things belonging to these aliens. Personally, I don't think that's the case. If it was, it would be on every major news outlet. It was at this point in my confusion that a team member mentioned the possibility of it being a movie set. Why didn't I think of that? After all, Hollywood is known for creating elaborate sets and props that simulate otherworldly scenarios, and it's not unusual for such productions to have security personnel controlling access to these sets. The presence of uniformed guards could imply that it's a high-budget production that requires extra security measures. That's what we're thinking, but let us know what your thoughts are. Did you know that there was drone technology that allowed the operators to form images and QR codes in the sky? What if I told you that nature did this first? Confused? Watch this footage. In the footage, we see a group of starlings, or if you want to get technical, a murmuration shape-shifting into various forms. The birds are no strangers to such behavior, but on this particular day, the photographer noticed an unusual level of activity. Intrigued, he focused his attention and readied his camera. And within mere minutes, his preparedness met a golden opportunity, allowing him to capture the extraordinary scene you're witnessing on your screen. And yes, that's a giant bird made up of hundreds, if not thousands, of smaller birds. All who saw this were left in awe, and it didn't just happen once, but twice in the same night, and hasn't happened again ever since then. There are some who believe it's natural and perhaps a mere coincidence, but the paranormal community thinks otherwise. They believe that there could be something more at play, yet can't seem to place their fingers on it. What do you think, though? Before you conclude you are seeing things, allow me to assure you that you are not. Behold, right in front of you lies the Minnesota Iceman, a seemingly lifeless Bigfoot. Sure, it exhibits ape-like fur and body, but its proportions and muscular build are strangely reminiscent of a well-built man. You don't need to be a scientist to know that this 7-foot creature walked on 2 feet. But how did it die, and how was the body found? This is a story that no one has been able to figure out. This creature was initially promoted and sent around the world by a man known as Frank Hansen. He claimed that he found the frozen corpse in a region of Siberia. Once authorities started descending on him, however, the story changed multiple times until it was finally declared a hoax. This revelation came after the original body he presented disappeared from public view for months. Hansen then resurfaced with another corpse, claiming it was a more recent capture. However, investigators soon discovered that it was nothing more than a latex and rubber model, skillfully crafted in the West. It even went on sale on eBay in 2013. So, what happened to the first model? Was it really a fake as well? Or did Henson pull it from public view because of threats or fears of it being stolen or taken from him? Well, the truth remains a mystery, but some in the paranormal community speculate that Hansen might have killed and illegally imported a rock ape during his time in the Vietnam War. For those who don't know, the rock ape is a Vietnamese cousin of the Bigfoot. What do you think, though? Hoax or true? Tell us in the comments section. This looks like some sort of apocalypse. In the footage is the moon looming ominously closer to Earth. Now, before you start stocking up on canned goods and building your underground bunker, it's important to exercise a healthy dose of skepticism. I don't know about you, but it all seems a bit too, fake. It seems more like a movie than real life, and the quality of the video is kinda questionable too. While it will be disappointing if this is edited, it wouldn't be so surprising. After all, the internet is chock full of doctored footage and elaborate hoaxes designed to dupe unsuspecting viewers. The last thing I want, is to mislead you guys. But then again, maybe I'm being too much of a skeptic. What do you guys think? Now, this lady is holding a small rock in her hand. The rock has this intricate design on it. According to the story, she said she saw the rock fall from the sky and that it even felt hot to the touch. Some think it's a piece of a meteorite formed in space and hurled toward Earth through the atmosphere. If that were true, it would make this rock an incredibly rare and fascinating object, as it would contain clues about the early formation of our solar system and the wider universe. Others, however, speculate that the rock may be something more extraordinary. They suggest that it could be a fragment of a celestial object originating from a distant planet or even another galaxy. If this is the case, the rock could hold secrets about the origins of life elsewhere in the universe and provide crucial evidence for scientists seeking to understand the mysteries of deep space. While I pondered what the possibilities could be, I noticed something about the woman's fingers, and surely enough, other members of my team did too. We checked the comments section, and someone had too. Can you see it? No? Editor, let's bring up the comment right now. You see it now, don't you? Her fingernails have dark dirt in them that looks to be similar color as the rock. It's made everyone who noticed it think she created the rock herself and passed it off as being extraterrestrial. What do you think? Humans are limited in their sensory perception, which can be both humbling and alarming to consider. Our hearing range is between 20 Hz to 20 kHz, and our visual spectrum, spanning wavelengths of approximately 430 to 770 terahertz, only covers small fractions of the broader electromagnetic and auditory spectrum. This limitation means we are effectively blind and deaf to a huge array of phenomena occurring at higher frequencies or beyond our range of vision. For instance, ultraviolet and infrared light, which other creatures like bees and snakes can detect, remain hidden from human sight. Similarly, ultrasonic and infrasonic sounds are imperceptible to our ears, but are crucial for communication amongst certain animals such as bats and elephants. These sensory gaps raise fascinating and unsettling questions. Could there be entities, energies, or even worlds that exist just beyond our perception? Are aliens a part of the world we are unable to see? Stepping away from the scientific debates, let's look at something right up our alley: ghosts. The image on your screen was captured by a group of friends at Black Star Canyon in Orange County. It was shared by user DJS skeptics seeking answers. If you pay attention to the image, especially to the left side, you should see what looks like a faint image of a boy in the shadows. The group was supposed to be alone when they took the picture, so seeing another boy in the background really spooked them, and they uploaded it to a paranormal group seeking answers. They did get some answers, but it was not necessarily what they were expecting. The image was not pareidolia or a trick of the light. No, it turns out that some school children died in a car crash not far from where they took the picture. Ever since the incident, people have always reported seeing images of little children in the area. This is one of the few times they have actually been captured on camera, at least that's what we're told, though some remain skeptical. There's no logical or paranormal explanation. What do you think? While sitting at the edge of a swamp, an observer noticed a peculiar creature emerging from beneath the surface. At first, the creature was difficult to make out, but as the observer zoomed in, they could see that it had two long fangs protruding out of its mouth, making it look like the sharp teeth of a saber-toothed tiger. The creature swam with ease, effortlessly moving through the water and making hardly a sound. Its face had a menacing look that could give you nightmares for years. What kind of creature could this be?
What the hell?
Just as we got the pride blanket out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fucking weird.
It's for pride!
In this intriguing footage, a group of people captured a fascinating patch of clouds in the sky. The clouds were colorful and rainbow-hued, which made for a striking sight. It was a unique and beautiful phenomenon that left many people in awe. The cause of this phenomenon, however, remains a mystery, and naturally, there have been several theories trying to point out and explain what may have caused it. Some speculation that the rainbow-colored clouds could be a result of chemical pollutants in the sky, which could reflect the light uniquely. Other experts suggest that this could be a natural occurrence caused by the refraction of sunlight through ice crystals in the clouds. Regardless of the cause, this rainbow-colored cloud formation in the sky is an impressive sight to behold. Wouldn't you agree?
That is amazing.
The gays or something now.
If you've ever wondered what two of your brain cells interacting looks like, then you are in luck. Believe it or not, these are what your brain cells look like when they're doing a mentally draining task. Unlike us, they don't talk in words. Their conversation happens through intricate signals transmitted across tiny gaps called synapses. While this is an oversimplification of the fascinating science behind their chatting, we still have to admit that it looks impressive. This exchange is what powers everything we do, from thinking and feeling to moving and remembering. Every thought or sensation is the result of billions of these tiny conversations happening in your brain every second. I don't know about you, but this makes me think of space and the way our universe looks. What if our existence is just within a much larger being, and we are all just parts of that larger being functioning to keep him functioning? You know what? Let's move on to the next clip before I hurt myself. A security camera set in an alleyway captured a peculiar scene. A man was walking through the alley when something moved on the roof of a nearby house, catching his attention. He glanced up, but saw nothing unusual and continued on his way. Upon zooming in on the roof, however, two strange creatures come into view. They appear to have wings and a long tail and could be either four or two-legged. Their appearance resembled small winged dinosaurs. Could these creatures be bats or large birds distorted by the angle and lighting, or is this something more unusual, perhaps cryptids or even an elaborate hoax? What do you think these creatures could be? While exploring the waters, someone stumbled upon these two intriguing fish. They were pitch black and had a peculiar growth on their head that resembled a brain. Wondering what this fish could be? Well, these little guys are called the black Aranda goldfish, and the brain-like growth on their head is called a fleshy wen, which is a characteristic feature of this fish species. These magnificent beings are a highly sought-after variety of goldfish that have a distinct charm due to their black coloration and unique head growth. The black Aranda goldfish is renowned for its gentle and peaceful nature and has become a beloved pet of many aquarium enthusiasts. On second thought, I think this is slightly different from the black Aranda goldfish. Have any of you owned or seen one? What do you think? Remember my talk about living in a simulation with glitches? Well, here's another. The clip starts off like your everyday not-so-extraordinary clip. A few seconds in, and it becomes apparent that things just don't add up. First off, not all the animals have shadows, and as the pups are playing, one runs into another one of the pups and just disappears on impact. It's almost as though it was being absorbed, which should not be possible. I'm not a science genius, but I'm pretty sure that's not how physics works. Anyways, what's your take on this? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Let's head to the UK, where intense winds are wreaking havoc. It's just one more chapter in a string of extreme weather events across the globe. Some folks are saying that Earth is fed up with humans and is trying to shake us off. Honestly, I've got a few theories of my own. But jokes aside, why are we seeing so many strange weather phenomenon back to back? Could it be climate change amping up the intensity and frequency of these events? Shifts in atmospheric patterns, or perhaps it's just the natural cycles of weather hitting us a little harder than usual? What's your take? Is it science, bad luck, or something more ominous? Let's hear your theories. If bugs make you uncomfortable, skip ahead by 30 seconds. If you're still here, we can assume you are unfazed by them.
Okay, so I thought this was dust for like a week. And then if you look really closely, it turns out that they're little tiny bugs. And I'm freaking out because they're literally everywhere in my kitchen.
This young lady on your screen has a bug infestation problem unlike any you have ever seen in your life. Well, a bit of an exaggeration, but you get the point. She's got bugs that look like little dots, and they kinda get everywhere. Her walls, desks, and even her bottles. She initially thought it was dust until the dust began to move. She tried all she could to get rid of them, but nothing seemed to be working. She tried asking for help on our platforms, and surely enough, she received the much-needed help. It turns out they're called grain mites, and she's not the only one who have had them visiting. Has any of you had to deal with these? Which method did you find to be most effective in getting rid of them? She might just be watching the video.
They like to gather on the corners. Does anyone know what these are? Please tell me. I need help.
Now that's what I call dedication to the extraterrestrial aesthetic. This man's lying down perfectly still, as a tattoo artist works their magic, creating a masterpiece right on his skin. It's not just any tattoo. Oh no, this is a full-body extravaganza featuring none other than an alien creature set against the backdrop of a vibrant, swirling galaxy. Talk about out of this world. You can't help but be struck by the sheer artistry and creativity on display. The intricate details of the alien's otherworldly features, the mesmerizing swirls of colors that make up the galaxy, it's a sight to behold, to say the least. Would any of you get this done? Look at these magnificent creatures. I know what some of you are thinking. This must be AI. Well, it's not. It turns out these birds are pretty much very, very real. They're called the Andean condor. They are a massive bird species that can have a wingspan of up to 10 feet, 3 meters or more, making them one of the largest flying birds in the world. They have black feathers that cover most of their bodies, but their wings boast white markings that make for a striking visual contrast. They have distinctive white ruffs of feathers around the necks, which are particularly noticeable when they're in flight. On their bald heads, they have colorful fleshy wattles that add to their regal appearance. Sadly, despite being awe-inspiring sights, the Andean condor is a vulnerable species that are facing numerous threats. Due to habitat loss, poaching, and poisoning, their numbers are rapidly declining. Sad, huh?
That's amazing. That's a great view. You can see we just launched at the perfect time here, so we're catching sunlight off of the top of the Earth's atmosphere. It's reflecting off of the plume of the rocket.
Apart from the reports of strange drones, another mysterious phenomenon that has captured people's attention is this: space jellyfish in the sky. The so-called space jellyfish resemble large, glowing jellyfish-like forms hovering in the atmosphere. Their translucent bodies and trailing appendages give them an ethereal, otherworldly appearance. While many speculate that these jellyfish could be natural phenomenon, atmospheric events, or perhaps experimental technology, others lean toward extraterrestrial explanations. Some scientists suggest they may be a rare optical illusion caused by weather conditions, while others propose they could be space debris reflecting sunlight in a peculiar way. What do you think?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
No nos lo pueden negar. Mirad, un ovni sobrevolando San Sebastián.
Next up, we have this fascinating clip captured by a woman vacationing in Spain. While taking in a breathtaking view from a high vantage point overlooking the beach, she inadvertently filmed something extraordinary. As always, the video starts innocently enough, panning across the picturesque landscape of buildings, land, and sea. But then she spots something unusual, a distinct disc-shaped object hovering above the building. It glimmers with a smooth metallic-like appearance, staying in view for only a couple of seconds before vanishing into thin air. Up until she posted this clip, the woman in question had never posted anything paranormal related. Her posts were travel vlog related, which made this particular clip an interesting deviation from her norm. Many in the paranormal community are taking this to mean the clip is a genuine encounter. But what do you think? Did the clip convince you, or do we have reservations?
No nos lo pueden negar. Mirad, un ovni sobrevolando San Sebastián.
Alright, let's dial down the drama a notch. Imagine you're scrolling through some footage and stumble upon a group of people in uniforms gathered around this large metallic sphere that's appeared out of nowhere on the beach. It's definitely an unusual sight, no denying that. The sphere itself is pretty straightforward. It's big, metallic, and has an almost otherworldly sheen to it. But beyond its appearance, there's not much else to go on. No clear explanation of how it got there or what it's doing on the beach. Now, some folks are tossing around the idea that it could be of alien origin, but let's not jump to conclusions just yet. It's just as likely that it's some kind of man-made structure or even a piece of equipment that's been washed ashore. But hey, who knows? Maybe there's more. What would you do if you were out exploring the woods and came across a creature such as this? Yes, I did say creature, and anyone who has watched Lord of the Rings would understand the reference. This creature was reportedly captured roaming a Chinese valley. The creature was found crouched, but only for a short while, as it did its best to get away from those filming it. We're not exactly sure if it knew it was being filmed. One thing that we however know for sure is that it didn't like it one bit. So what is it? Well, no one is really sure. The Chinese thought it was a Jiangxi when they saw it, but the appearance and movement didn't match what they knew about the Jiangxi. For those unfamiliar with the term, also known as the hopping vampire or hopping zombie, is a reanimated corpse from Chinese folklore known for its stiff hopping movements and its thirst for the life force of the living. This didn't look stiff, and it was too shy to be one. One creature, however, fits this description: Gollum. Anyone who has watched The Lord of the Rings or read the books is familiar with the character that was cursed into its grotesque appearance with its emaciated form, pale skin, luminous eyes, and jagged teeth. Up until this time, we've always thought it to be fictional, so what could be going on here?
That cloud ain't moving though. Almost looks like something circular in there.
On December the 2nd, 2024, a woman in Long Beach, California, reported a peculiar phenomenon in the sky. It's a cloud that appears to be completely motionless. While clouds typically drift with the wind, this one remains stationary for over 10 minutes. Some suggest the possibility of a cloaked UFO, with the theory being that advanced extraterrestrial technology might use clouds as a natural disguise. Others propose that it could be a fake cloud, perhaps part of weather modification experiments or some other unexplained technological phenomenon. But what do you think this could be?
Looks like freaking 2 eyes. Doesn't that look like 2 eyes? Look.
Yeah.
It looks like 2 eyes now.
It looks like
It's freaking weird.
It's pink, my favorite color.
The idea of having doppelgangers of ourselves somewhere in the world has fascinated people for centuries. While it's considered a theory or a fun concept, some claim it might be closer to fact than fiction.
Disculpa, ¿este es el barrio del Encanto o tú eres el encanto de este barrio? Mira.
Take this recent footage as an example. A man walking through the streets of Colombia stumbled upon a young woman who bore an uncanny resemblance to actress Scarlett Johansson. While her face was slightly rounder, the similarities were striking enough to make them look like twins. While some chalk it up to the limited variability in human features across the global population, others find the idea of doppelgangers eerie compelling. What's your take? Is this just a random resemblance, or could there be more to the concept of having another you out there in the world? Maybe glitches, government experiments? Sounds crazy, but you never really know.
Disculpa, ¿este es el barrio del Encanto o tú eres el encanto de este barrio? Mira.
While peering through a clear glass window, a woman noticed something peculiar in the water. She decided to get a closer look and zoomed in with a camera. To her surprise, a group of men were sitting on a table seemingly in the middle of the sea.
Представляете, люди готовятся на ифтар под водой.
The sight is baffling. How could such a thing be possible? Some people have suggested that it might be a reflection from the room on the glass window, but this raises more questions than it answers. How could a reflection in a room create such a convincing illusion of men sitting on a table in the sea? Kindly hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Doing so lets you stay updated and allows us to create more videos for you. Thanks for doing so. Now, let's continue with the day's episode. Have you ever come across a rather large bird that appears to be tied up after being prepared? If your answer was no, you might wonder what this is and why it's being prepared in such a way. Upon closer inspection, it looks as though the bird is being drained of blood before being cooked. The size of the bird is quite remarkable, as it's much larger than a typical turkey. Some people speculate that it might be an ostrich due to its size and appearance, but it's difficult to say for sure. Others think it's some goat-bird hybrid, but that doesn't add up. An ostrich sounds more believable at this point. But I'll let you guys decide on this one. What do you think this mysterious bird could be? Bruce Xaudia, a wildlife videographer on YouTube, recently explored the Sunshine Coast in Canada, a region known for Bigfoot sightings. After speaking to a local who claimed to have seen a Sasquatch in the area, Bruce decided to investigate the location himself during a hike with his family. While hiking, he arrived at a field and began hearing strange noises coming from the tree line. Curious, he took out his camera and started filming, zooming in on the area. Because it was so bright outside, he couldn't clearly make out what he was capturing in real time. Later, upon reviewing the footage at home, Bruce noticed something unusual. Behind a tree, there appeared to be a figure crouched on the ground. The figure was difficult to identify, but Bruce believes it could be a Sasquatch. What do you think?
And I'm going to color in what I see, red, and then dotted red, that there's something else behind the bushes there that could be extension of the object.
What is that?
What came to mind when you heard the audio? If you weren't paying attention, listen again. Does that sound like anything you know? If you answered no, it's the same situation for us. No one on my team knows what we're dealing with, and neither does the paranormal community. The individual who uploaded the clip thought the sounds were unusual, which is why he recorded. He was hoping for answers, but the clip ended up dividing the community. There were some who thought it sounded prehistoric, like a dinosaur. Some were very skeptical, stating that such a thing couldn't be true. They even accused the poster of faking and reversing the audio. There were others who also claimed to have been hearing such sounds near where they lived, Alaska to be precise. Having presented all the evidence to you, you've seen the clip too. What do you think we're dealing with here? Let us know in the comments section, especially if this is something you have heard too.
What is that?
There has been a recent sighting of a perplexing entity in the sky. According to eyewitnesses, the entity initially appeared as a tiny dot in the sky. After a closer examination of the recorded footage, they realized it transformed into an unusual and intriguing shape. The shape of this entity sparked discussions among various groups, with some speculating that it could be an angel. This speculation is based on the descriptions of angels in the Bible, which some thought had a similar appearance to this entity. However, there is no concrete evidence to support this claim, and the true nature of the entity remains a mystery. What do you think of it? This fascinating video has been circulating online, showcasing a peculiar object floating in the sky. The object, which is unlike anything seen before, has sparked a great deal of curiosity among viewers. Some people believe that it could be an interdimensional entity visiting our world, while others argue that it's simply a piece of debris floating in the sky. The video has prompted a lot of debate, with people from all over the world trying to decipher what the object could be. It's a mystery that is yet to be solved, and the possibilities are endless. What are your thoughts on this matter? This clip has a lot of weird things going on. First, we've got a couple of adults playing with their backs turned to the forest. I can write a whole dissertation on why this isn't safe, but let's move on. As they're having fun, a figure moves behind them and no one notices. They only noticed it while reviewing clips at home. They shared it with the paranormal community, and once they are there, they're divided. Some think it's genuine, whereas others think it's staged. You've seen the clip. Which do you think it is? Around the world, many traditions may seem unusual to outsiders, and one such practice is the Goraba festival celebrated in Gumatapura, India. This unique festival revolves around cow dung, a substance considered sacred and purifying in Hindu culture. Here's how it unfolds. Villagers collect cow dung, which is then taken to the local temple to be blessed by priests. Once consecrated, it becomes the centerpiece of the festivities. Participants use the dung for a variety of activities, most notably engaging in a cow dung fight where they gleefully throw it at each other. This tradition, while unusual, is deeply rooted in the belief that cow dung symbolizes prosperity and good luck. It's also seen as a way to foster community spirit and celebrate the connection to their agrarian roots. Would you ever consider joining such a unique cultural tradition? No, this is no alien. This is actually a species of bird on our planet. If you're expecting me to tell you which, I won't be doing that because it's our bonus clip of the day. This is your opportunity to show us how much you know about the Earth as we search for signs of life out there. Tell us what bird this is and give us one fact about it. The best answer gets a feature and shout out in our next episode. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Start your answer with the word bonus so we can easily identify it. All the best. This next one was sent in by a subscriber of this channel. Just a quick reminder that you too can send in your clip. According to him, he captured it on a trail cam he'd set in the woods near his house. It was meant to capture wildlife, but instead it captured a life that, although wild, didn't fit your typical description of wildlife. There on the screen is a girl moving across the forest floor with the fluidity and grace that's almost otherworldly. But here's the thing, she's not just strolling along like your average hiker. No. She's running on all fours. Her movements so animalistic that at first glance you might mistake it for just another woodland creature. But hold on, it gets even stranger. The girl, dressed in human clothes but sporting an animal mask and a tail, effortlessly leaps into the air as if defying gravity itself. It's a scene that's as mesmerizing as it is baffling. Could it be a person with inhuman abilities, or is this some type of prank stunt being pulled on the trail cam owner? This eerie footage from Indonesia, recorded in 2008, captures a truly unsettling encounter. As two men were crossing a bridge, they noticed something highly unusual in front of them. It was the lower half of a human torso wearing a black skirt. Strangely, there was no upper body visible, just the legs. What makes the scene even more chilling is the behavior of the legs. Initially, it was facing away toward the fence. However, when the light from the men's phone illuminated the figure, the legs turned to face them. This unnatural movement caused the men to panic, and they fled from the scene as fast as they could. Such an occurrence defies conventional explanation and aligns with certain ghost stories or folklore in Southeast Asia. In many Indonesian legends, apparitions of disembodied parts, particularly torsos or limbs, are associated with restless spirits or supernatural entities. Could this be a paranormal encounter? This next footage comes from a rancher who shared a strange find after a snowstorm. While he was out, checking on the debris he had been burning near his shed, he didn't notice anything unusual at the time. But later, as he reviewed the footage from his dash cam, something strange caught his eye. In the video, behind the shed, there appears to be a huge dark figure. It's a bit blurry, but if you look closely, you can make out the shape of something large, humanoid, and seemingly out of place. The rancher believes this could be a Bigfoot silently standing near the shed, possibly watching him. What do you think? Cloning has always been a fascinating yet controversial topic. It's a subject many avoid for obvious reasons. This next clip might change their opinion, though. You see it too, right? A factory producing silicon human heads, torsos, limbs, and other body parts. Isn't it amazing how detailed and realistic they look? The movement of the robotic upper torso gives me the heebie-jeebies with its lifelike movements and gestures. While I see what these could be used for, I can't help but wonder if it's safe to even have them. I mean, anyone could be impersonated using these cloned body parts. One second thought, how do we know that's not already happening? After all, we've got some world leaders acting weird and not like themselves every now and then. If these things are truly being used to impersonate others, then perhaps we need to be extra careful. What do you think, though? Do you think that that's a possibility, or am I just being a conspiracy theorist? Please share your thoughts. Someone shared this footage. It was a video of a disc-like craft being chased by a jet. Unfortunately, the exact location where the incident was captured remains unknown. The jet seems to be in hot pursuit of the UFO, which has led some commenters to speculate that the UFO is a government-made and that the jet is accompanying the craft. This would explain why the jet is so close to the UFO. However, others believe that the footage is entirely fake and that it's been doctored to make it appear as if the UFO is being chased by a jet. It's worth noting that there have been numerous instances in the past where people have claimed to have captured footage of UFOs, but these have later been debunked as hoaxes or natural phenomenon. Members of my team think that might be the case here, but then again, nothing's false until it can be proven so, right? Anyway, what are your thoughts? We've got a clip from a man who was driving home one evening through a quiet stretch of road near the woods in North Carolina. The sun had set and the road was dark and eerie. As he was almost home, his dash cam picked up something strange that left him unsettled. The footage shows a bipedal creature darting into the woods. It's covered in dark fur from head to toe, standing somewhere between 6 and 7 feet tall. At first glance, it almost resembles an ape, but there is something distinctly off about it. When the footage is slowed down, the creature's movements and appearance seem unusual, almost unnatural. Its gait is surprisingly human-like, which has led to only one logical conclusion: Bigfoot. Unless, of course, you're our scientific whiz Julius, who doesn't believe in such things. Your conclusion will be that it's fake. Many in the paranormal community, however, believe this is the real deal, and I'm not surprised. The clip is very convincing, but I want to hear your opinions too. What's your take on this one? Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the guy who accidentally steps in this water. While the alligator may be smaller than the croc, it's no less dangerous. Just in case you missed it, there's an alligator lying in wait with its mouth open in the water. Sometimes gators do that while hunting. It's an effective tool that seems to get their prey with high success rates. If you see this behavior on land, that is, a gator with its mouth open like that, it may be engaging in what scientists call thermoregulation, but more of that in our video. Just keep your eyes out when in gator-infested areas or water bodies. You have been warned. Take a look at this picture. A man captured his foot in the prints made by a creature. Guess what creature it is? While Sasquatch is known for its large footprints, the track captured in this picture appears to be even bigger than that. It appears to have been made by a Kodiak bear, one of the largest species of bear in the world. Kodiak bears are native to Alaska and are known for their enormous size, which can range from 800 to 1,500 pounds and can stand over 10 feet tall when on their hind legs. Their footprints are among the largest of all land animals, measuring up to 14 inches in length and 8 inches in width. So it's no surprise that the track captured in this picture is truly impressive and likely made by a Kodiak bear. I know you're waiting for the next clip, but my new friend Bigfoot asked me to ask you if you've liked and subscribed yet. If you haven't, please do so now, or I'll send him after you. A cat with wings. It's so fascinating and strange at the same time. The cat has grown a pair of what appear to be wings on its sides. The wings were small in size, with a furry texture that perfectly matched the fur on the cat's body. It was as if the wings were a natural part of the cat's anatomy. But since when do cats have wings? I wonder if some kind of genetic modification might be at play here. It's possible that the cat's DNA was altered through some kind of experimental breeding or gene therapy. Skeptics doubt that the wings on the cat are real and believe that they're just accessories that have been attached to the cat. They speculate that the wings have been customized to match the cat's fur because they fit so perfectly. But what do you think this is? A mutant cat or a cat in a costume?
Someone called the cops on these lights.
On December the 4th, 2024, a woman driving at night through Orange County encountered something extraordinary. She pulled over and began filming as strange lights hovered above the ocean in a distinct triangular formation, the point facing downward. Moments later, the lights began to descend into the water, escalating the mystery. Just then, police cars sped by with their sirens blaring, adding an eerie twist to the unfolding scene. Orange County has long been whispered about as a UFO hotspot, with some speculating about hidden underwater alien bases in the area. Could these lights be proof of something otherworldly, or is there a simpler explanation, like drones or a light show? If that's the case, where were the sirens rushing to, and why was this not covered in the news? So many questions, yet little to no answers. What's your take? Coincidence, technology, or something truly out of this world?
Someone called the cops on these lights.
That is a spaceship like a. That is a. Tell me what else that could be. That's a spaceship. They found a spaceship.
A woman driving on the highway found herself behind a truck carrying a massive disc-shaped object covered in a cloth and securely tied down. The object's shape bore a striking resemblance to a UFO. Could this be the real deal? Many are skeptical that the government or any agency would transport something as sensitive as a UFO in plain sight, especially in broad daylight. It seems counterintuitive for a subject surrounded by secrecy and controversy to be handled so openly. On the other hand, some believe this could be a calculated move, either as a deliberate misdirection or as an unclassified transport of something mundane that happens to resemble a UFO. Others propose it could simply be a prop for a movie or a piece of experimental equipment unrelated to extraterrestrials. What do you think?
That is a spaceship like a. That is a. Tell me what else that could be. That's a spaceship. They found a spaceship.
This next incident has unlocked a new fear in me. It involves a snake that was found in a toilet, and it's unclear how the snake managed to get there. Some speculate that the snake may have climbed into the toilet, while others believe it may have come up through the drains. Unfortunately, the exact cause of the snake appearance remains unknown. When the homeowner discovered the snake, they immediately called for help. A group of uniformed men arrived at the scene and attempted to remove the snake. However, the reptile seemed to be stuck, and the men were unable to extract it from the toilet bowl. As a result, they had to remove the entire toilet before they could finally remove the snake. Oh, the thought of a snake appearing in such an unexpected place is enough to make anyone double-check before using the toilet. Have you ever had such an experience? Share it with us in the comments section. In recent times, there has been a rather peculiar phenomenon observed in the sky. Witnesses have reported sightings of a bright ball of light appearing out of nowhere, followed by a strange stroke of light emanating from it. The stroke of light seems to be highly intense, almost as if it is being projected towards a specific location. In one instance, the stroke of light was observed descending towards the Earth's surface. The nature of this phenomenon is still unknown and has left many people wondering if it is a natural occurrence or if there is something more sinister at play. Scientists and experts have yet to come up with a definitive explanation for this mysterious occurrence. Some have suggested that it could be a result of atmospheric conditions, while others believe that it could be related to extraterrestrial activity. What do you think this could be?
Here we go. Here it is. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
For several days, residents of New Jersey have been spotting and filming strange drones hovering in the area, sparking unease throughout the community. These drones reportedly feature 3 lights arranged in a triangular pattern, an unusual design not typical of standard drones. What's even more intriguing, the FBI had taken an interest in the case. If these were just regular drones, why would a federal agency step in? Could they be advanced spy technology, possibly from a foreign government, or could they be something far more extraordinary, like evidence of extraterrestrial activity? What's your take?
What is that?
Next, we've got a clip from 2020 that had many in the paranormal community talking when it was first released.
This is the exact spot that I just...
The man you see on your screen had been experiencing paranormal encounters and decided to share his experiences online. Sure, this was modern times, but it was still 2022, and many were still reserved when it came to cryptids and creatures of the night. The man on your screen, however, insisted his experiences were true, and they dared him to go live and show proof of the so-called experiences he'd been having. Everyone expected it to be a no-show and a flop. That was until something was caught in the background. Its movements were not human, and it appeared to have fur all over. This made many who were live with him conclude they were seeing either a dogman or a werewolf. The man in question had shared earlier experiences with these cryptids, which many didn't believe at first. But once this clip went viral, that changed, and many believed him. Some remained skeptical, however, stating that he could have arranged and staged the whole thing. You've seen the clip. Which of these instances do you think is most likely?
This is the exact spot that I just...
There is a widely accepted belief among various cultures in the scientific community that civilizations existed before our time. Over the years, evidence of such past civilizations have been found in the form of various artifacts.
This one really isn't my story, but we'll talk about it briefly. Anybody in here know what that is? Okay, so we got at least one person in here that knows what it is. Let me show you another picture, close-up of it.
Recently, a cave explorer made a fascinating discovery in a private cave located in Manti, Utah. The explorer came across two rocks in the cave, one of which was glowing. The other rock, which was found to be an unusual stone, resembled an ostrich egg but was made of rock. The explorer didn't touch the glowing rock but took flakes from the strange stone for testing. Upon testing, several things were found in the stone, including human blood that dates back as far as 3000 BC. This enigmatic artifact raises many questions. Could it be a relic of a bygone era lost to the annals of time? You tell me.
I can't tell you those kind of things on any of this stuff. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know who owns it. I know who had access to it when I saw it, but I can't even give you that information. That's not for me to give.
Technology keeps evolving faster than we can keep up with, and every day it seems to push deeper into our personal lives. At this point, it's something we rely on just to function. Think about it. Most people cannot go a single day without their phones. If they try, they miss meetings, arrive late to work, forget tasks, lose track of time, all because of so much their life is synced to a device. The wild part is, technology is no longer a luxury, it's become part of who we are. We're reaching a point where stepping away from your phone for even 30 minutes might feel like a rare indulgence. Soon there might not be a single person without a phone, a wearable, or some device that's tied directly to their day-to-day life. It's almost like history is looping back on itself. We came from an era where nobody had a phone and everyone wanted one. Now we're entering a time when everyone has a phone, and soon some people may find themselves desperately trying to live without one.
If I had my opportunity, I would chuck everything, every bit of technology I had, just get rid of the whole damn lot and live off grid. But I'd never get rid of my motorcycles. No. But anyway, with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us.
Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. Hey, we can't wait to receive what you have.
I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Now do me a favor. Share this with everyone because we love you. So show us some love back. See you next time.